Remember the Kandahar Giant story? So L.A. Marzulli was actually the first one to break the story, and it was from a 2002 mission in Afghanistan. There was a patrol that went missing in a remote part of Afghanistan, so they had to send out other guys to go look for them, and they find military equipment scattered and then even human bones at the entrance of a cave. Out of the cave comes a screaming red-haired giant with a spear or like a javelin in its hand, and it's maybe 12 feet tall, according to the whistleblowers. And one man stepped forward, and this giant, it shocked all of them, is what he said. They could not believe the speed and the agility of it, given its size. So it quickly moves, it spears the guy with its, like, whatever it had, its weapon. Then they open fire, and they essentially decapitate it, okay? So then, another unit or whatever comes in, they put it in like a net, carry it away, and they are supposedly told, hey, this never happened, don't talk about this, because all the whistleblowers who they've talked about it, but they've concealed their identities. And yet L.A. Marzulli has interviewed at least 2 different people who were there. And there's also another whistleblower who was, I guess, a pilot, who was one of the ones flying away the body. I don't know if it was the chopper or later it's then put into a container and they carried the container away because I think it was a C-130, but it had to be weighed, so they weigh it with the body with the pallet and whatever it's in, and they did the math based on how much they knew the pallet weighed and the container, and they thought that the body itself probably weighed about 1,100 pounds. So that is a big, I hate to call it a person, but you know what I mean. So they believe, given the human bones there, that this thing was definitely a cannibal, which is interesting enough because lots of Native American stories of giants, which were here when the Native Americans got here in the Americas, they said that they were giants, and many of them had red hair as well. I could go on about those stories, but maybe another video for another time. But for the Kandahar Giant, what's interesting is this guy right here came on the record a few years ago, and L.A. Marzulli, among other people, have interviewed him. And he said that his grandmother was a witch, and she had tattoos like on her forehead, and she did basically like black magic type, just the occult. And his father, which was his grandmother's son, was playing one day and got near a cave in Kandahar, and he saw something. He saw a giant footprint, and some other stuff happened, and so he went home and told his mom, and the witch, and she said, don't go up to that mountain and play. And what they call it there in that part of the world is a jinn, but they've had stories of there being giants living up in the mountains and caves for years before the Kandahar Giant story with the U.S. military even came out. So anyway, he said his dad had told him that his mom, because she was a witch, that she even, whatever she was into, she had brooms in her house, being operated by some kind of little spirits. They'd sweep her floors, and she did weird rituals, and she even took goats up to the entrance to this cave as a sacrifice or like a peace offering. Like, if I feed this jinn, which was a giant, if I feed it, then he won't come down, kill me or my family or whatever. You listen to some people, they say, oh, that never happened, but you got whistleblowers, and it tracks with all the other stories of giants, which of course have been somewhat obfuscated, but reports of giants have been around for centuries. Abraham Lincoln talked about seeing the bones of the giants. They've been unearthed all over the Americas. The question is, why are there some still alive? How old are they? I don't know. The Bible goes back thousands of years when it tells us about giants. I don't know what that means for modern day. How old are they? How many are around hiding in mountains around the world, caves? I don't know. But it's insane to think that we know about everything living on or even under this earth. There's a whole bunch of places things can hide, even if they are giants, and the stories come from somewhere, I don't think the people of Kandahar are all insane when they talk about there are jinns, there are giants living in caves in the mountains. And also, I believe, if I remember correctly, the military, after this happened and they basically decapitated the one giant, I believe they said they went back into the cave later and there were more giants in there, and they may have killed one more, and then I think one or two were there and they just like disappeared, like somehow disappeared, got away. I don't know. So it's a strange world we're living in.